A Central City site once guaranteed more than 50 affordable housing units, but it will instead add dozens of short-term rentals. And as David Jones reports, the City Council wants to make sure this doesn't happen again.
We have once again as a community allowed the needs of tourists to trump the needs of the people of this city.
In Central City, what was once described as a groundbreaking affordable housing project is taking shape as more short-term rentals.
It's another missed opportunity.
Andronika Morris is with Housing NOLA, a nonprofit affordable housing advocacy group.
It continues to give people the idea that there's an easier way to make money as opposed to providing housing for the average New Orleanians, for your friends and your neighbors.
The plan was originally to turn a portion of the former Brown's Dairy site into 50 or so affordable housing properties. It was widely supported by the city in 2020 when the developers announced their vision for low and middle income New Orleanians to live on one side of the homes and rent out the other, generating income.
It was a chance to take something that was a disappointment, the loss of a job center like Brown's Dairy, and turn it into housing.
But the plan fell through after the development group 1400 Barone LLC said the city did not come through with subsidies for homeowners. In a statement, 1400 Barone LLC said, quote, "We had the land, plans, and financing in place. The developer did not request or need incentives. But without subsidy for the home buyers, the project could not move forward. Our vision was for affordable home ownership. We had no interest in developing a luxury product, so we chose to place the vacant land for sale. The lots were sold off, and homes are now being developed on the site as short-term rental units."
The conditions of New Orleans are such that folks can't afford to live here anymore, or they're pushed to the outskirts of New Orleans.
City Councilwoman Leslie Harris pushed through 2 ordinances Thursday aimed at curbing short-term rentals and increasing the city's stock of affordable housing. The proliferation of short-term rentals in the city is nothing new, with more than 2,300 of them permitted in New Orleans. The first ordinance passed directs the Planning Commission to do a citywide study and recommend to council changes to housing projects going forward.
We have those rules and regulations for rental projects. We don't have them for home ownership. So that's what the City Council directed the CPC to do today, to study that component and to give them recommendations so that this doesn't happen again.
The second ordinance directs the Planning Commission to change the zoning at the Brown's Dairy site and surrounding areas, from high-intensity mixed use to multifamily residential, where commercial STRs are prohibited going forward.
People need to be close to home, close to jobs, close to family.
Harris says Brown's Dairy slipped through the cracks, but affordable housing is still top of mind, especially considering what lacking it does to the crime rate in the city.
As we know, it impacts everything around us: crime, poverty, the ability for folks to work within the city and live within the city.
We have got to interrupt the cycle of poverty that is setting the stage for these tragedies.
And that was David Jones reporting. The City Planning Commission meets next week. They'll consider changes to how short-term rentals are regulated in New Orleans, including limiting permitted residential STRs to 1 per block. The proposed changes would also require an owner or operator live on site for a permanent residential STR. There's currently a moratorium on short-term rental permits until new rules are drafted.